Good afternoon, Cedarfield family. Happy Monday to you, November 9th at 3 o'clock. I hope everyone is doing well. This live chat is being recorded and posted on our Touchdown website. Those families listening, the residents that are listening, and team members, we really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to listen to probably what will be a very brief live chat today. Sometimes my family, my mom used to say, no news is good news. So, but I do want to talk about a few items, so bear with me here. A couple things. Ann Hopper's here too, have a few updates. Yours truly just would like to discuss the current situation. I've combed through the Virginia Department of Health's report from last week and want to just highlight one particular item. And then Ann Hopper will come up here and round things off with some words of wisdom. If you're looking at the Cedarfield dashboard, actually some really good news. We have across all of the levels of care, as I mentioned last week when the epidemiologists were here, one of them, Gabrielle, said, Michael, you want to pace it, not chase it. And we are doing exactly that. We are pacing our plan, not using our plan to chase it. Am I live right now, Eddie? Okay. So the good news is from our live chat last Friday through to today, in the health center, nothing has really changed, which is good news. We still have that one home care person that's positive, who's not been working here, but all of the residents up on healthcare and all of the team members, or any folks that may have visited prior to Friday last week, there is not one person that we know of that has signs and symptoms. So that's all great news up in healthcare. Same thing goes for assisted living. We did have one person that tested positive back in this last 2 weeks, but that person has cycled off of her quarantine and now she's actually back to work. So she's fine. Amen to that. And additionally, there are no other residents or team members in assisted living and or families that may have visited over the prior 2 weeks that have reported any signs and symptoms. Not only reported, but we are actually actively testing residents with temperature checks and their oxygen levels. So everyone in assisted living is doing well. In Sunshine Plaza, a little different of a story. Since I last reported, we had 2 more residents that are positive, which increases our positive count in Sunshine Plaza to 4 residents. The one team member who was positive has also cycled off and is now back to work, so that's good news. I visited the neighborhood in Sunshine Plaza fully geared with my PPE on Saturday and Sunday, and the team is with great spirits. They're very confident in the plan that they have before them to execute a safe environment. And so just wanted to report that the staff are confident, the families are cooperating, we're constantly communicating with the families, and they are also pleased with what the plan is down at Sunshine Plaza. So although we've had 2 more positives down there, there is a lot of optimism down in Sunshine Plaza, our memory support area. In independent living, again, we are pacing it, not chasing it. So we still have that one positive resident who lives in a cottage. That's a very isolated situation. That person cycled off.
Yep.
Oh, never mind, I'm sorry. That person has cycled off, so we have 0 positive cases in independent living, both in the cottages and here in the main building. We've had a few people that were part of the quarantining group from October 30th, otherwise known as the 72 group, that had some signs and symptoms. We did some testing and folks have come back negative. So for independent living, again, we are pacing it, not chasing it. We are entering our 10th day of quarantining, believe it or not. So all good news. I just want to thank everybody for your patience and your cooperation. We're all working our plan and doing what we need to do to keep ourselves safe and keep everyone safe around us. Speaking of the Virginia Department of Health's visits, again, just want to make reference. I know that some folks were confused as to why they were here, per some emails and phone calls that have come into the administration suite. They arrived here last Tuesday to conduct a normal visit to get familiar with Cedarfield and review our evolving preparedness plan, because we had this particular quarantining event and an event down in Sunshine Plaza. They reviewed our Cedarfield Forward shared values. They reviewed our evolving preparedness plan, our infection control policies, and our infection control assessment tools. They also conducted a tour of Cedarfield, both in the main building here and in and around the campus. Both in, actually, when they were here in the main building, in the health center, assisted living, and Sunshine Plaza. They were very pleased with their visit, and they issued us a report of note. Residents, team members, and families should know that a multidisciplinary team met this morning, and we reviewed the report, and anything that we thought we needed to implement from their recommendations, we put together, again, another action plan in motion to make sure that we addressed any and all of their concerns in the report. One of the things that I particularly noted as I was reading the narrative form of their report had to do with proper hand hygiene. And it is their recommendation that in between, if you're like me, this is my lavender organic hand sanitizer. I carry it with me everywhere I go. It's a pump spray, so I'm constantly pumping and spraying my hands all day long. In this report, it talked about making sure that we educate the community at large, residents and team members, and families who might be visiting, and contractors, that they want to be assured that people actually wash their hands for 30 seconds in between maybe 3 to 5 times using your hand sanitizer. So it just struck me as one item that I thought we should really pay attention to this week. So again, in between every 3 to 5 usage of your hand sanitizer, to really make a conservative effort to wash your hands for the entire alphabet, or 30 seconds, getting in between the fingers and the fingernails. That was a really big recommendation from them. Otherwise, Ann Hopper will be up here in a couple of minutes. If you have anything else of note that you want to reference, that would be great. One other thing I wanted to just chat about was the current Cedarfield preparedness plan, particularly with a couple of items. Last week, Renee Langley put together our current plan, and we made copies of that plan and provided every resident on the campus with that plan. The plan I'm talking about had a green sheet on the front page, which was the plan for the folks that are under quarantine, and then the rest of the document pertain to everyone else through November 13th. Just want to clarify something for everyone, that this current quarantining event that we have from October 30th, if all goes well through these next couple days, will end on Friday at 3 o'clock. That will be our 14th day to the hour. So Friday the 13th, coming up here at 3 o'clock, will be the end of our quarantining here in independent living. So let's keep everything crossed. Everyone's doing great work and diligent work to keep themselves safe and keep everyone else safe around them, which is why we've noticed nothing new on our dashboard in independent living, assisted living, and or the health center. We did want to make special note to visitation. The CDC's recommendation right now is that the current definition of maybe prolonged exposure is a total of 15 minutes within 6 feet for more than 20 in a 24-hour period of time. And so we are being extra cautious right now in making sure that any guests that come onto the property, whether you're scheduling it with Renee, or you are taking advantage of visitation on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, between 5 and 8, that we are limiting right now, especially through Friday, any visitation for less than 15 minutes to eliminate any unnecessary risk that we might be placing others. So we want to make note of that. On Friday, when we have a live chat at 3 o'clock, we're going to make an announcement about Thanksgiving, particularly the announcement of visitation. I know there's lots, Renee's been fielding lots of questions, and Ann Hopper about the duration of visitation on Thanksgiving. And so we're going to talk about that on Friday, because we know we're going to have great news to share about this quarantining event. So we're going to proceed with talking about on Friday the rest of the month and how the beginning of the holidays will shape out here for Cedarfield. And then the other thing we will talk about on Friday, we will talk about what is our current plan, because we issued that plan to everybody last week, 10 days ago, and now we want to refresh that plan and talk about what we can do throughout the month of November. And this is all in preparation that we have no positives that pop up here between now and Friday afternoon. So let's keep everything crossed. Everyone's doing a great job of really, like I said, protecting themselves and protecting those around them. We're really doing a great job. I think that's it for me. Short and sweet, 15 minutes. I'm going to call up Ann Hopper here, and she has some words of wisdom. And unless anybody has any questions that they want to text me, I'll come back up and talk about those questions after Ann talked about a few bullet points. Other than that, Ann will wrap it up, and we'll see you on Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Good afternoon. A couple things that I wanted to go over. The first one being the telemed appointments that you might have. We're coming into the cold and flu season, so your doctor might be able to see you, or your doctor might recommend these telemed visits. And if you are not computer savvy or up with the smartphone, we've got an iPad in the clinic, and we've got phones for FaceTiming, so we are able to help you. So if your doctor, if you have a primary care visit or a follow-up visit with a doctor out in the community, if you need help with a telemed visit, we are happy to get you going with your doctor, and we can bring the devices over to you. And then the next thing I wanted to do, you've probably seen our 2 social workers out in independent living. Kathy Moran, who's been here for about 21 years, and then we also have a great addition, Brian Burton, and he's been here for about 3 months. They have been doing just about everything from helping deliver the mail to our group of 72. This is addressed to family members as well. It's hard with this COVID, and when people are isolated, we see how it's just rough times. The social workers are there for you, whether it's a in-person visit or on the phone, or you might come to their office or even go for a walk with them. So they're a big help. So we realize that you could be cut off from your family too, and that's another avenue for you to go to, which would be the social worker. Or if you know of someone in independent living that you think is struggling, you can let us know in the clinic or social work know, and we can help reach out to those folks. So we're all in this together, and that's about all that I have right now.
One question came in about the
Yes.
One last thing, a text came in about a question about the 4 residents that are in our memory support assisted living and how are they doing. Happy to report that all 4 of them are doing as well as can be expected. When you're under a quarantine event such as Sunshine Plaza, and you happen to live in that environment, it's a little tricky, just due to the nature of the people who live there. But by and large, the 4 are doing very well, and hopefully their quarantining event will likely end next week on the 17th or 18th. And so I would just really ask that everybody unite together, send them some positive energy, send them your prayers. But Sunshine Plaza is doing well, and the team members that are caring for them are doing very well. Their spirits are high and they're very confident. So thank you all for listening today. I appreciate you all tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the administration suite, and we will answer any and all of your questions just as soon as we can, especially within a day's notice. Otherwise, we will see you here on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and we'll go back to our normal live chat with operational updates from different directors. Hope you all have a great night and a better day tomorrow, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.